Hi, and welcome to day 7 of the San Diego Latino Film Festival and to our Q&A for uh, filmmakers Sports Shorts Program. This is actually the first time we had a shorts program like this. We've definitely had sports shorts in Frontera Filmmakers Program, but no program dedicated to that, to specifically to sports. And then I hope you guys really enjoyed it. It was a real cool to see. For me, at least, it was really cool to see how American football is growing in the Baja region, growing in Mexico, and kind of see that interaction between two countries, and its teens. And then also for the love of blood, I actually didn't even know extreme wrestling was a thing until I watched this short. But to tell us more about it, we actually have Frank Deron, who I'm gonna be bringing in. Oh, there you go.
Wow.
The director of Frank Deron. How you doing?
Hey, pretty good. Hello from France.
Yeah, you're in France right now. That's awesome. But also like the Trooper Award for the San Diego Latino Film Festival, because what time is it for you over there?
It's 4:20 in the morning.
4:20 in the morning, and you joined us a few hours ago, and well, it was like 2 in the
Uh,
morning for you at that time.
yeah, that was really
Yeah,
nice. Good conversation.
yeah, you're putting an all nighter for the film festival, so
Hey,
we're very thankful for that.
around the clock.
Well, Frank, again, thank you so much for joining us, and let's talk a little about why don't you tell us a little bit about how the you connected with Juventud, and how the whole idea of like getting his story told came to you, or did how did you guys meet?
It was I've lived in San Diego back then, so I used to go to Tijuana, and we used to go to the auditorium there to watch some wrestling matches. No, luchas. Uh, and one time, we would go watch one or two luchas and then go do something else. And then, it was always safe, family, fun environment. And then one time I took some friends from the US over. It was a birthday, and they've never been to a lucha match. I was like, it's your birthday. Let's go watch this match. And it was at the auditorium, which is the big venue down there. And
Mm-hmm.
we went, and the first, we're drinking, having fun. And the first lucha match is like it's like this young, the young up and coming guys, the wrestlers, the young ones. Oh, it's cool. And then the second round is the old guys, like the guys on they're gonna retire soon, like the grandpas fighting. And then the third lucha was these extreme guys, and they came out, and it was crazy. It was like we couldn't believe it. I mean, there was like a bunch of kids in the audience. Everybody was just, going nuts. And we were sitting in the front row, and they started smashing all these like light fixtures and everything on each other. And I thought it was, like Hollywood. It was like sugar glass. I thought it was just like, fake props. Like no way, that's real. And then a piece of metal fell my way, and I picked it up, and it was, it was like it was real. It was real metal. Like, holy shit, like these people are really smashing each other with these things. And they were like eating the glass, like they were eating, these big halogen lights. They were eating them, and they were like stabbing each other in the face. And we couldn't believe it. It was like, what's going on here? This is insane. We didn't know this was going to happen. But what really caught me was at the end of the match, like the main wrestler, he was wearing, the face paint, like all the colors and the patterns,
Mm-hmm.
and he was just covered in blood, and his family was sitting behind us, and he came to hug them, and he was like bleeding, and at the same time he was crying, and everything was melting, like his face was melting. He was crying, and tears and blood and the paint, and he was hugging his wife and children. And I'm like, holy shit, this is like real. This is something. This is like a once in a lifetime moment for me, watching this
Mm-hmm.
thing unfold. Like what that just little scene right there, that just kind of stuck with me for a few years. And a few years passed, and I'm like, I want to kind of revisit this whole world. So that's how I wanted to make a little film about it. So I got in touch with some promoters down there, and I found a few wrestlers, but they were all, like the typical, macho guys, just hardcore kind of wrestlers, and I wasn't that interested in following them around. And then I met Juventud. Like we went, we met at Cinco y Diez in Tijuana at the mall over there. We went to the Chinese restaurant, and we just talked for like 2 hours and about everything. And I barely speak Spanish. I mean, I can understand, and I speak very poor Spanish, and he didn't speak any English. So, but we talked for 2 hours, and that was the beginning of the little movie.
Wow. Well, it's always interesting where even though like it happens a lot with filmmakers sometimes like there's a language barrier, but there's like connection with the person you're trying to make the film, right? So it somehow works out.
Yeah.
That's a great beginning. I was gonna say, dude. So apart from those 2 hours, how much time did you spend with him afterwards? Because I'm guessing it's a 30-minute short, but how much time did you like? How many hours of footage do you have? I guess, and then how long before you felt like you were complete or it was enough for what you wanted to do?
Well, we clicked right away. I loved his, outlook on everything, and I think we started shooting like a week later. Just kind of him training and stuff like that. Kind of get to know the sport, get to know the scene, and kind of see who is who and who are the trainers. What can I film? What can I not show? Like I wasn't allowed to show his face at first.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole front half of a film or anything. I don't think we ever see his face because it's like no, you can't see my face.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a real challenge to kind of film around that and show his environment and not really show his face. But I think that was kind of part of the challenge. But then we filmed probably for 10 days over a 3-month period. So we filmed 10, not that much. There's a few scenes that didn't make it, but overall, everything I shot is in there.
Wow. Did you see his face the first time you met him? Or he showed up in mask?
Yeah. No. And he couldn't even tell his like he lives in this little shack, inside this car shop, and even his neighbors don't know he's a wrestler. Like he doesn't want to attract any attention. And like we went outside to shoot a few B-roll with his mask, and he was really uncomfortable. Like, oh, like what if people see me? Like they can't know that I'm this wrestler guy.
Yeah.
So it was a real interesting environment to shoot in.
Yeah, these guys are superheroes. They have their dual identities, right?
Oh yeah. You can't. Yeah, he's a force for good. Like he can't be exposed.
Yeah. No, and I think you show you do a great job in showing the duality of this man. I think like in the program we talk about how he's a mechanic by day, and then but he's a wrestler by night. But I think it's just like you have a way of showing how he's a compassionate man, but he can also be a mean guy. Well, not a mean guy, but he can be rough.
Yeah, you can have a lot of courage. I mean, just like when I went to the first training session, he was like, "Come get on top of the ropes, like see how it feels like." And I was like, "What the fuck? No way! Like, how can you even jump from there?" And then they go like 10 feet higher, and then they smash on top of each other. Like, I don't know how they do it. But I mean, I also like the duality of him, working on the old cars and kind of fixing them up and having this real passion for the cars, just to real meticulous. And then he goes out there and he destroys like his own body while fixing these cars. It's an interesting contrast.
Definitely. Excuse me. Have you? How long have you been making documentary films for?
This was my first one, really. I mean, I've worked in film and production and all that, but this is the first thing I sat down and actually did as a passion project
Okay.
for in this format.
It was awesome. It was really well done.
Thank you, thank you.
So so you didn't do this because of so I know you said you had the idea of doing it as a, cause when you saw it, you always been a lucha fan?
Me?
Yeah.
No, not at all, not at all. No. Like I was more interested in why he would do it than in the actual lucha. Like,
Mhm.
but I never quite got the answer. I mean, I like watching luchas is fun, but I don't know anything about any of the big guys or any of the
Mhm.
heroes or any of the. I mean, I know the basics, but no, I'm not particularly a lucha fan or wrestling fan in general.
So you say you don't know, but do you have an idea of why you think he does it?
Uh, it's crazy. I think. I mean, first of all, it's adrenaline, and like I think he has a saying where he's so people like don't be a spectator to your passion, like be a participant.
Mhm.
So he, instead of you know, just, he just does it. Like it's his passion. Like, and there's no rationality behind it. He's it's what makes what gives him a purpose. I feel it's just I don't know. It's a trip. It's I never got a concrete answer from him.
Awesome. You also had some pretty visceral shots where a lot of those was that like a lot of footage that he had. I know in the beginning there's like all these shots of him like getting stitched up, or like maybe not him, but
uh,
like other guys getting stitched up,
that's
like
him. Yeah,
scars coming out. I'm sorry,
that's him. Yeah.
that's him. Was
Yeah.
that all footage you got, or was that like
No,
stuff
no, no, no. That's
that
all
he had shot
from his Facebook and stuff like that.
you? Oh, okay.
Uh, like for the actual fight, I was kind of disappointed because it wasn't the fight that we covered wasn't a big. It wasn't as bloody as some of his other fights.
Hmm.
So I didn't get all the gore that I wanted, which is it's kind of messed up. But so I had to use some of his older stuff.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that I was gonna right now that you said that you had only shot like 10 days, I was like, wow, you got some pretty crazy stuff in those 10 days. If that was the
Yeah,
case, okay. Well, I'm glad probably for his body, it's best that that wasn't it, right?
yeah, he's yeah, it's tough for him. He's an older wrestler. He's like in his mid-30s, so
Hmm.
he's hurting everywhere. Like when you see him move and get up, like his knees and back and everything is broken. Everything hurts. So it's this almost weird, almost religious thing, where it's like the pain fuels them. It's crazy.
Hmm. Wow. How about for you? What do you feel that fuels you as a filmmaker?
Oh wow. Well, I think it's a similar passion. As soon as you find a story you kind of grab on and hold on to, like when you're in the moment and capturing it, like you kind of feel the it's you just feel a certain kind of flow. I don't know how to explain it, but it's this
Hmm.
flow where you're feeling something special happening in front of you that you didn't know existed before or you didn't expect happening. Like uh it's part of the magic, and I think that's why you seek out, as a documentary project, you seek out interesting microcosm, interesting subcultures that you didn't even know existed. and that's just kind of this adventure you get on when you grab the camera and you're like, I have no idea what's going to happen, what this whole thing is about, and that's a cool journey.
Yeah. Are you working on anything at the moment?
I'm retired. I'm COVID retired.
You're co-retired.
And I have a big list of projects I want to do and get off the ground, but
Mhm.
this was definitely a learning experience for me. So I would approach everything differently this time, next time, of course. And well, I'm excited about a lot of different new projects I have, but it's all, all this was self-funded, the travels and everything, and it'll be nice to have funding for some of these to be able to get proper audio, get proper help, because this was just me and a camera and my producer. That's it.
Oh wow! So it was just two of you.
Yeah, one and a half. Yeah. It was.
Well, I think one of the things that has come up on a lot of these my Q&As with the filmmakers is like moving forward with COVID. It's basically they go with skeleton crews now when they're shooting
Yeah.
nowadays. But it sounds like you're already there. So
Yeah, I mean, I think for documentary filmmaking, I don't know how to do it any other way. Like, you don't want to show up with 10 people and all these things, you want to try and be a fly on the wall. So the less, the better, Even, I mean, the camera helps to capture the angles and the things you're trying to capture, but that's about it. Like, there's too many distractions around, and you ain't gonna capture what you need to. So it's
what would you say were some of the things you learned? You say you learned a lot in this one. What would you say is the biggest to any of our listeners?
so pre-production and figuring out a story before you shoot. I think somebody said you have to approach narrative film as a documentary, and you have to approach documentary film as narrative film. So I learned a lot about having a clear vision of what it is you're trying to capture before you actually capture it. I think for the next projects I'm going to be doing. This one was kind of wide-eyed. Whoa, let's go on this thing. I have no clue what's going to happen, and let's just shoot everything and see what we have. So there was. I would definitely spend more time in pre-production and figuring out what it is, the story I'm trying to say. So.
Wow. No. Yeah. That's good. I guess. Did you spend apart from that one time you met him? Did you do a lot of interviews with him beforehand, or to like get to know him a little more, or you just kind of did that first meeting and then shot for 10 days in those 3 months?
We just shot, and it was just more conversational. Like, there's so much stuff he was talking about, like how he like aliens experiences, and like when he was a kid, and how all these connections he has with like pyramids and the earth and all these things. And I'm like, what the hell? These are like crazy things you're talking about right now. And I couldn't touch on most of that because they would just been too confusing. But he definitely had a ton of stuff to tell that he was just happy to share.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, he seems like a very interesting guy. But is there, Frank? Is there any extra comments or anything you want to leave behind for the audience?
Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This was definitely a passion project. I wanted to keep filming, but he went to Canada, and then he got deported, and then I don't know. Then I kind of lost touch with him, but I hope to reconnect at some point and maybe revisit some ideas that got started on this project.
Is he back in Tijuana?
He was last time I checked. Yeah, like I got him plane tickets to go to Canada and everything. He went to Canada, and he spent 6 months over there, and he got sponsored by, well, he got a job working on cars, and like, you know, coolest cars, like super sports cars, expensive cars, like dream cars. And the guy he worked for like gave him a super nice apartment, and he was set. He had like a beautiful life. And then he went back to Mexico because you know, he missed his family and everything. He hadn't seen them, and he kind of felt safe because he thought he was going to get a work permit through him, through this guy who was helping him. And so I set up another trip for him so he can go back to Canada, get him the plane tickets and everything. And then he gets back and he gets deported because he overstayed his first day. So he got kicked out, and it's been rough finding him since then.
Wow.
Just another border story.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I hope you reconnect with him, and I hope he's doing well. I mean, it's a super interesting man, like we just mentioned. Again, thank you, Frank, for sharing this story with us. And yeah, thank you for if you guys end up doing a feature or something, I hope you submit it to the film festival, and we have you back here.
Cool, will do. Sounds like a plan.
All right, well, you get some rest, all right?
I will. I'm not tired anymore.
Don't wake up till 3 in the afternoon today. Well, your time.
I'm gonna go chop down a tree or something.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone.